Hey business owner, I'm Mike, co-founder of ConnectCPA, and today let's talk about tax deductibles you can be eligible for as an entrepreneur. We have partnered with Owner for this video series so you can learn about the fundamentals of accounting. Watch the videos today so you can manage your business with ease. Every small business has a smattering of expenses to account for and budget for. Rent, utility bills, and office supplies are common and when totaled together aren't insignificant. But many small business expenses may be claimed and written off as tax deductions. The first step is to understand what qualifies as a deductible business expense. Business expenses are only tax deductible when the expense is reasonable for your line of work. Generally, business expenses are deemed reasonable if they're appropriate to your business in both type and cost. For example, you may deduct the cost of your telephone if the expense was incurred for business purposes. But could an owner of an antique store write off a purchase of a new motorcycle? Probably not. Determining if an expense is reasonable is relatively straightforward. If it's an expense intended entirely for business purposes, such as the office electricity bill, it would be deemed a business expense. However, what happens if you use a single cell phone for both business and personal use? In a case like this, you can only claim a fraction of the expense. The portion of the expense is incurred for business purposes. If you use your phone for business 20% of the time, 20% of your phone bill would be tax deductible. The same applies to the purchase of the hardware. When possible, it's advisable you put your utility accounts in the company's name rather than your own. Let's cover what business expenses can be claimed as tax deductible. For business startup costs, you can deduct business expenses that preceded the operation of the business. However, you can only claim expenses if you operated the business in the fiscal period in which the expense was incurred. You can also claim supplies. You can deduct the cost of items that your business used indirectly to provide goods or services. For example, drugs and medication used in a veterinary operation or cleaning supplies used by a plumber. As a CPA, I'm required to pay professional dues every single year. If you also belong to a professional organization, you can deduct the fees, licenses, subscriptions, and dues that you pay. And now onto the fun stuff like office expenses. Think of your pens, pencils, paper clips, they can all be deducted. But calculators, furniture, and items deemed capital items may not be deducted under this category. For business use of home expenses, you can deduct expenses if the workplace is your primary place of business, or such space is used for related purposes like meeting clients, customers, or even patients. The total deduction, though, must be proportionate to the amount of space dedicated to your business. You can also deduct salaries, wages, and benefits. Gross salaries and other benefits paid to employees may be deducted, except for salaries or drawings paid to any owners or partners. For travel, the 50% limit still applies to the cost of meals, beverages, and entertainment. You can deduct rent paid for property used in your business. For example, you could deduct rent for the land and building where your business is situated. However, rent related to business use of your home must be claimed as a business use of home expense. Any interest and bank fees can be claimed as a deductible. Interest incurred on borrowed money is deductible if the loan was acquired for business purposes. The same also applies to property taxes. You can deduct property taxes for land and building where your business is located. However, similar to rent, property tax related to business use must be claimed as a business use of home expense. For any telephone and utility bills, you can deduct expenses such as gas, oil, electricity, water, and cable if you incurred them to earn an income. Your insurance premiums on any buildings, machines, and equipment can also be deducted. Insurance costs for your car or vehicle must be claimed as a motor vehicle expense. Luckily, if you have bad debts, you can deduct them. Bad debts are any amount of money that you are owed which you won't get paid for, but you already included as income. Lastly, you can deduct expenses for advertising for your business. Digital advertising is also a tax deductible. If this sounds like a lot, don't stress. Check the description below for a full list of resources that you can use for your small business taxes. Remember to hit subscribe to never miss a video from us. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.